will start the recording of my reflection video. So I will talk about the experience that I gained from RSM course. Throughout this course, I gained valuable experience in applying requirement and engineering concepts to software development. I learned how to gather, analyze, and manage software requirements effectively and understood the importance of having clear and complete requirement specification to avoid confusion later in the project. I also developed skills in using tools like use case and activity diagrams to visualize the system behavior clearly. In addition, I learned to differentiate between functional and non-functional requirements, which helped me to structure the system more accurately. This course also strengthened my teamwork and documentation skills, especially during the requirement analysis phase. And most importantly, I gained hands-on experience by applying requirement engineering concept to a real-world system design, and I learned how to align that design closely with user needs and project goals. I will present how the prototype development aligns with RE concept. In developing our prototype, we closely align it with key requirements engineering concept. We started by conducting interviews with stakeholders to gather accurate user needs, and based on that, we clearly define both functional and non-functional requirements to guide development. We then use modeling techniques like use case and activity diagrams to visualize system behavior and user interaction. And throughout the process, we follow a structured RU approach from initiation to specification, validation, and finally modeling. This helps to ensure that our high fidelity prototype not only meets user expectations but also supports the overall goals of the project.
So I'm Chu Heng. This is my reflection video on experience gained during RSM course. So this course let me understood how to gather and define user requirement clearly and systematically. So this improve team collaboration through real project planning and role-based discussions. So I also learned how to translate user needs into formal models using RE techniques. I also gained experience in preparing structured documents like the SRS and so on. This course also let me realize the importance of clear communication between users and developer. This is my reflection video on how prototype development aligns to RE concepts. So actually I built the prototype based on the finalized SRS, ensuring the requirement coverage. So I use case diagrams and use case specification to guide screen design and data flow. I also follow the RE process from elicitation, modeling, specification to prototyping. So this ensures traceability between prototype feature and documented requirement. So this prototype actually act as a validation tool to confirm functional and usability needs.
So I will talk about my reflection on the experience gained from the requirement engineering and software modeling course. The first thing is learned about the different type of stakeholders that are relevant to a specific system, from the clients, managers, users of the system, and also the external stakeholders at the law or the government, and how they influence the requirements, and then learned about the different types of requirement gathering techniques and which situation usable is most suitable for each one, from the survey techniques, creation techniques, creative techniques, document techniques, and observation techniques. So gain experience in teamwork and team leading. So throughout this course we had a project, and I worked with more than 4 teammates, and also we took turn in leading each phase, and I lead it phase 2 and get a lot of experience from it. I also learned about the importance of clear requirements and how it help us to resolve conflicts, and it will be easier for the development and negotiation also. and gain experience in requirement management. So by adding IDs and we make the requirements traceable, it will be easier for to managing it, and also see which requirements influence other requirements. Also learn how to to qualify to classify the requirement based on its importance based on the Kano model, from the basic requirements, performance requirements, and the excitement requirements. Another thing, use different tools to make the analysis process easier. So in this project, we had to draw different models from use case diagram, then activity diagrams, class diagrams, state machines. So I use different tools and gained a lot of experience in them, using them. And for the prototype development, aligned with the requirement engineering concept, the first thing, we conducted an interview, which is a workshop with the stakeholder of the system, which is a technique of a requirement elicitation, and it is the first activity that we need to do in the requirements engineering process. So to gain the relevant or to gain information about the system and also the stakeholders. So after we gain that environment, we need to document it and visualize it. So I use different models to achieve this, from the use case diagram, activity diagram, state machine diagram, and class diagrams. After that, also I added ID to requirement and use case to achieve traceability. So whenever a requirement or a use case is mentioned, we can trace it to the starting to where it is started, and thus it will allow proper requirement management and easy communication with the teammates. Also, we followed the structured over requirement engineering process, from elicitation, which is the interview workshop with the stakeholder, the specification, documenting and visualizing, the validation of the requirements with the stakeholder, and after that, to ensure everything is on, we are on track, and then modeling the validated requirements to also ensure that the developed requirements are valid and meet the stakeholder needs. So ensure the product validate the developed requirement meet the stakeholder needs, and they are and ensure that they are happy about it, and we can move on to the development. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. I'm Taqwa. I'm here also to present my reflection video. So first of all, I explain how our prototype development aligned with the RE concept, requirement engineering concept. So the base of our idea, the user requirement specification definition, where everything started. So the Mind Heaven was born. We engaged with the stakeholder to understand their needs and expectations, and through the requirement elicitation session, stakeholder live sessions, and also the previous stakeholder recorded session, how it aligned with the requirement engineering concept because it follows the requirement elicitation process and stakeholder analysis as a starting point of the requirement engineering. So next, the shaping of our system, which is requirement modeling. In this phase, the team analyze a collected requirement and create a structure modeling. So we developed use case diagram, activity diagram, domain class diagram, and also state transition diagram. So this phase represents the analysis and modeling step in RE's life cycle. So the outcome of this phase is that we visualize how the system will work and how the user will interact with the system and how it's aligned with the requirement engineering because it's mapped directly the system modeling and the specification. Key part of the requirement process where the visual and formal model are created to represent the system. Third part is to build the vision, which is a requirement specification. In this phase, we create a SRS document. We detail the functional and non-functional requirement, the system interfaces, the system constraint, and the module breakdown. And the most important the most important part of this phase is to ensure that the prototype features are fully transferable to documented requirement. So this phase represents a specific and valid stage of the RE cycle. How it aligns with the requirement engineering cycle because it provides a formal documentation and structure to guide the prototype development and confirms that the prototype meets the identified requirement. Last, the mockup as a high fidelity prototype, we use Figma for that. So the mockup help us to visualize the system, ensuring that each screen and feature match the user requirement. It provides clear, transferable flow aligned with the use case diagram, supporting the both functional and visual design for the system. For my own experience that I gained from the RSM course, which is also I feel it's complete for SAD course and software engineering course from the previous semester. I here also learned more about the requirement and how to analyze the requirement carefully to understand the user really needs. I also understood the true meaning of the requirement and why they are important for building a good system. I also learned the cycle of requirement collection from gathering, analyze, and improving them step by step. I also learned how to enhance and improve the requirement to make sure they are clear, complete, and useful. I work as a team member, supporting my team and following the team leader guideline. I also had the chance to become a leader in the team, guiding others to and help them to complete their tasks.